gonna be us coming back again. And what? We're heading into the elite tier. That should be start. Wait, it should be cross-platform. I'm pretty sure F1 2020 is not. But yeah, we will head into elite tier qualifying. There seem to be 2 drivers missing. They can join after that. That is no problem. Yeah, to be honest, I do not get why this isn't cross-platform anyways. PC players are playing on controllers. There's not necessarily an unfair advantage. You can hook up a steering wheel to both PlayStation or PC, Xbox or PC. Nonetheless, I mean, okay. I mean, I can understand it at like shooters or something, that you might have a disadvantage when you want to go aiming with your controller, which is arguably a bit harder. But yeah, on F1, I do not really get it. Maybe it's some kind of like thing related stuff or something. Hey, Elias! Shoutouts for the Prime sub. Can I assume that you're the Elias from the Kestrels, or are you just another Elias who just popped in? Also shoutouts for the follow, as you just popped in, as said. We can even use keyboard and mouse on F1 2020. Wait, on the Xbox? If you have the Xbox hooked up to your PC or what? Or can you like legitimately put like a keyboard and a mouse to an Xbox? Would be new for me, but I mean, another random. Well, nonetheless, thank you very much for the sub. And thank you very much for joining. Like, I don't know, if you need info on anything, I hope and assume that there are nice people in the chat that give you info either about the F1 League that you're gonna witness right now, or the big Rocket League server that we have, which is actually a fairly big 2v2 competition that was streamed earlier today, but not anymore, as now it's F1 time. And, well, even though the track was determined random, we are, of course, at Silverstone, the same great track where we have been racing IRL today. Thanks, Fabian, for the weather info, as I, of course, can't see it. But, well, the drivers can, so... Oh, fuck. That was the wrong button. Ha! Huh? Huh? Okay. We're good and set up for a nice little qualifying. And well, this time we have it dry. The Challenger tier qualifying has been fully wet, obviously. Yeah, we have a dry qualifying and dry race. I'm really looking forward for this. We have seen amazing racecraft by a bunch of these drivers in the recent race. I'm just here to cheer for Simmons. Hey, that's actually like you can have some proper hopes for that. Simmons won, of course, the last race and is an absolute qualifying god. I think in the last 4 times I've seen him race, he qualified P1 pretty much every time. Which is obviously nice to see. For the first stint, though, we will be probably. Let's jump to Arch. We will. Okay. Let's jump to Dave, as both of these. No, I think Dave raced last week, but Arch has not raced last week. I have no idea how this happened. Does most drivers in this have wheels? That's a good question. I think in Elite, the majority of the drivers use wheel. We have 2 tiers at the moment. Elite is currently full Obviously, not everyone makes it to every race. People are unavailable sometimes. That happens. So in this case, we have 17 drivers here. Elite is very competitive. I feel like we are very close, or at least at the last race, the lap times were very, very close together. And the racing was just insanely good. Such good racecraft. It was really nice to see. In Challenger though, like I wouldn't call it more of a fun tier, as people still tend to take it somewhat serious. But yeah, generally the lower seated driver with slower lap times are in there, and we even have a keyboard player in Challenger. I think most of them are pet though. Oh yeah, Miku Hoon is spinning out big time, and Simmons actually taking pole by almost 2 seconds. Yeah, which is kinda according to the predicted strength of him in qualifying. He has been struggling in race sometimes, but yeah. Now, if I had the standings ready, I could have told you how like things stand at the moment. I think that Rage Quit got second or maybe third in the last race, but he was definitely under the top 4. His teammate, who's not driving today, has been in the top 4 as well, and Simmons has been the last race winner. And Jack is the last contender of the top 4 peeps from the last race that I remember. Rage Quit though, not setting the optimal lap. I think he's gone for another hot lap, so we will just stick with him a little bit. Dan H, in the meantime, second driver to crack the 126 mark, with a very high 125 though, as Simmons is on the low 125s already. Fabian, red lap as well. I have the feeling that is a quite reoccurring theme in this competition, as we've seen quite a bunch of invalid laps already. I am pretty sure that he's gonna go for a second lap though. Demon is king, but definitely win. Well, we'll definitely win. We will see about that, I guess. Do you follow the F1 calendar on your own? We have drafted the calendar partially on the community wishes and partially random. And how the coincidences, I don't know, proper word would be, well, it is random. It is just a fortunate incident that we have Silverstone right now when the real F1 is driving at Silverstone as well, so that was not necessarily planned or influenced by us. Well, I would have to open up the Discord for our race calendar. I think next race is gonna be Singapore though. So yeah, we're gonna be heading to a city circuit. Bunch of drivers on the outlaps. I think the first one going on a hot lap might be Goji though. So we will skip down to him as he just enters his next hot lap. Tim is not even trying. Well. We're gonna see. As said before, he's been performing very well in almost every qualifying I've seen him drive in. Had some problems in the races sometimes though, due to unfortunate circumstances, sometimes safety cars, sometimes just race pace over like the entirety of the 50% race. It's of course has to do something with stamina a little bit and concentration mainly, I guess. My plan of getting pole setting the first hot lap was unsuccessful. Got my lap invalidated on the final shitting corner. Yikes, Clay. Yikes on Goji in this one, as he is running out of bounds. Ah, it's only left shift, huh? I know what you want, F1 game. the lightnings outside. That would be good. Been awfully hot. A little bit of a thunderstorm would calm things down, surely. Well, Domi, a driver to talk about as well, as he has been extraordinarily quick through the early portions of the sprint series that we've just finished towards the end of the F1 2019 lifespan. And, well, he's making his return now, and he's gonna be the first driver to crack the 125 mark even, 124.9. Out qualifying Simmons at the moment, but he's probably gonna have 2 more stints. And we will maybe watch the next one, if we... I don't know, can... Hello? Okay, that's invalid. If we can find someone who's roughly going over the line at the point where he starts his next attempt. I think... Yeah, let's stick with Fabian Gaming a little bit for now. Sector 3, yellow flag, that's just people letting other people through. Hey yo, where am I first out getting at? What happened? Why are you driving upside down? That was like Spinello first corner. Okay, yeah, that was like probably the most hilarious cut I had in a while, just watching over to Arch and he's just flying out in the first corner. Alex has set a good lap time and immediately retired, I think. Might have been a while ago, I just missed that, potentially. As Fabian Gaming is in Sector 3 currently. He's been impressing quite a lot in Challenger and Formulas and the Sprint Series, but his performance in this very, very strong competition in the lead has not always been up there. I think with yeah, good lap he can easily qualify in the top 10 though, and might be able to get some points as well. At my grand visit, literally got on 10 minutes ago after scoffing a barbecue. But if we cut through the field and race, hopefully. Well. I have not seen Arch race, of course, yet, but we are gonna see if the cutting through the field is gonna happen. For now, we're sticking with Simmons, as he is in Sector 3 of his second hot lap attempt, and god damn, I don't think I've ever seen someone drive that as cleanly as that just was. Good. Imagine not missing all your apexes. I'm sure I'd be like in the 127s or something. And there we have it, 124.6. New quickest lap. Simmons once more trying to claim his front row, or rather P1 spot. Harrison in the meantime got 2 P3s sometimes on the way. Is now on another hot lap. And we're gonna see if he can improve his time as well. Doesn't use DRS, or is that a bug? It's already 1.2 seconds behind, so probably we'll just leave it be for the next lap, I assume. Or just go on an lap again and then try with a fresh set of tires in the end. Shall we go with Goji for another attempt? He pretty much had an invalid lap every time we've taken a look at him. But yeah, being the teammates of Simmons, I think it's hard to not be out-qualified here, but at least a good top 10 qualifying should be possible for him. That was not a corner cut. That was hilarious. But yeah, it seems like he will continue to not get valid lap times in. Dunk on You on medium tires is approaching his first attempt still, as he has not set a lap time yet. Been struggling a little bit in Brazil. Don't know if that was through the lack of training. But yeah, he's usually been one. I think he might have been P2 or P3-ish towards the majorities of the last proper F1 2019 season, and in the sprint series as well. But yeah, has been a little bit lacking performance-wise in the recent races. Ah, that's invalid. Can he not DNF? Yes, he keeps his car somewhat on track. I doubt that he's gonna get in another good attempt though. It's probably... I mean, theoretically, I think he could barely make it going through the pits and then go for softs on the last hot lap.
But yeah, shoutouts by the way for the followers, all you guys, like Olvzy, Izzy, Inskelet, Elias of course, and I think I mentioned someone earlier in the chat. Clean driving indeed by most of the drivers at least. Let's head to another who has not gotten a clean lap together yet, and that is Gorando. Gorando, I think, qualified P5 last time, so that's at least a little bit more to be expected from him. As I surely expect him to go somewhere around P5 again. At least we're getting like the times down to well, somewhere through the 125s now, with the exception of course of Domi and Simmons, who are chilling in the 124 department. Domi should be the driver in front of Gorando here, and he should set the next hot lap pretty soonish. Let's see if he can improve. He can improve indeed, but not enough to take P1 from Simmons. Gorando, in the meantime, goes 8th fastest with his set of tires. Both Red Bulls are probably on their last few attempts right now. At least they've set times, even though I doubt that Newf's gonna be happy with his. Yeah, Bikop seemingly going for another hot lap attempt as he returns into the pits. Newf is a bit quicker, maybe did like something of a major mistake through... We're gonna see. He's the second faster already, so it's not looking too bad. If he was being held off in Sector 3 massively, we're probably gonna see like another second of improvement in these last turns. Dangonyu and Goji, both, apart from Arch of course, who died in basically the first turn he made, on their last respective outlap attempts. Well, yeah, we'll look that they get a lap together on these soft tires. And yeah, I think both of them should aim for P6-ish, I guess. I think they can be up there. Infernalu's retiring in the pits though. All good. Well, who are we gonna jump on? Dave, maybe? Yes, we have not seen him drive, and he's towards the end of his hot lap attempt. A little bit faster. That improvement would be enough to secure him P4, provisionally at least. See if he can keep it together through Sector 3. As this is most likely not gonna be enough for a better position. Maybe you can reach Harashun if that Sector 3 was very good, and he does so by a slight margin. Takes P3 and puts himself in the first spot of the second row with the best 125 times so far. Let's head over to the Black Mercs. And we Denage coming in for another hot lap attempt. Just, well, invalid lap time. Let's head somewhere else. How about we spectate Goji getting his last lap invalidated? I would have been hilarious if he just cut the corner then, because that's what happened the last two times. But it's better I take the wall in quali than in the race. Yeah, I'd agree on that. I mean, P12 is not too bad, as I assume that you're Alex, if I remember right. Well, anyways, Goji, come through. Low 125 as well, coming into that P5 that I've, well, hoped for him. Dunk is still on a valid lap as well, but now comes the deadly part. Invalidation times wise, that was not a word. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah, the Herbie drivers just barely outside of the top 10 once more. I think you'll be looking for points today, for sure. as that was prevented due to, well, suboptimal circumstances in Brazil, I guess. Dunk on you, P7 as well, around P6 as mentioned before. Just barely missing out on Rage Quit. Who is still on a hot lap? Oh, Jack. Just slightly slower through Sector 1, but Sector 1 is not the sector where you make up the majority of the time. Could have done better. Yeah, maybe. But, well, can't always do the best. That was very close to an invalid lap for Jack here, but he's still going. Also, the top two guys are still going, so we're gonna see one of the alphas coming through Sector 3 is gonna be Simmons. We're gonna see if he can improve his time once more. The other one's gonna be Goji, who's actually going for another hot lap attempt himself. And coming through. No improvement on either of the times. Goji retiring in the pits. Sims just going through, and I see raindrops falling. Don't know if that worsens the quality of the track already. Well, it seemed to be enough for Jack to improve once more to 9th position. Barely beating out Mikun. And well. I mean, apart from, well, P3 to 10 are all inside of 5/10. Like, it's quite close competition over here, I'd say. Well. Yeah, as usual, I think that's a little bit of a bug. We will have to wait until the time runs out on this qualifying, unfortunately. As, yeah, I don't know why, but it just won't continue when it should. So, yeah. Anything you guys want to talk about in the meantime, as we will probably have a bit of loading time for the race as well, and but maybe, like, I don't know, thoughts about championship in the Reel of One. Well, pretty much over in my eyes, to be honest. Hamilton will likely be taking that one home with ease at this point. 34 points ahead. And still, I haven't heard anything. I can't, like, no. I don't think he should get away with that speeding in the pit lane thing. Like, he was too quick, wasn't he? Oh no, I do not know. Nonetheless, Reel of One aside, back to this one. As Simmons stands on pole position once more, Domi in P2, very close behind him. In comes Dave in the Racing Point, Harashun in the first AlphaTauri. We hope that Mashik joins as well, as he came 5th, I think, in the last race, so he should still have reasonable chances. Rage Quit in the Renault, followed by Goji, Dunk, Danage, Jack, Mikuhun and Grando in the Haas, then Lewis in the Mercs, and come the 2 Ferraris, afterwards the 2 Red Bulls, and the last driver would probably have been Arch, who blew off in turn 1. So, we will probably still have a formation lap ahead of. Very interesting weather in Germany right now. It's still 30 degrees, but it's all of a sudden, like, at least over here, it's cloudy and sounds like it's raining, but at least there's thunders rolling and it's really atmosphere, which is quite nice. Hey. I mean, I'm like the soft tire because I do not enjoy temperatures above 30 degrees Celsius. Like, yikes. Technically speaking, like, surface temperature, yeah, they are like 90-ish or something. But air temperature, make it go winter again, please.
Yeah, the wind. Wait, that's just my fan. Disappointed by nature. Once more. Formation lap. Let's go ahead and see these guys warm up their tires. It's been a long day. Plop. So, as mentioned, the order. Anything special to say about that? I do not know. Infernal Lewis is reasonably far down. Strategy-wise, I think we will get some kind of a graphic or something by the game in a second. I personally think that you can probably... there it is. You can apparently one-stop this, which is reasonable on 50%. It's still only 26 laps. So yeah, that should be definitely doable. Like 9 to 10 laps on the soft compound, and then yeah, the rest 16 or something on the mats. Gonna be interesting. Gonna be interesting. Quite a few drivers outside of the top 10 opting for the mediums first. I don't know if they're gonna go hard or if they just gonna go for their late soft stint. Probably depends on how far they can get on these tires. Having just driven Silverstone in my team at least, well, in 25% it's definitely possible to make a good 7 to 8 laps on softs while pushing completely hard. So yeah, since this is like buffed up a little bit for 50% races, soft should definitely be able to last like 10-ish laps, and well, mediums and hards respectively should be able to last the rest. We're gonna see if and what is happening though, as yeah, there we have it. Lap 10 to 13 they say. 13 laps on softs seems pretty long, to be honest. I doubt that anyone's gonna go 13 on softs. Anyways, we are jumping right to the start. Let's jump somewhere in the midfield. Let's go with Goji. Yeah. Lights out for us, and they are actually out for the players as well, as this is the first time this has happened in quite a while. And we're going through turn 1. No contact. Oh, there's a spin. Infernal Lewis. Infernal Lewis has been spun around or spun around himself. We do not know. And he's currently in last position. A little bit of overtaking maneuvers in the midfield. Jack and Dunk, our teammates actually reunited after suboptimal starts on one side. Go over to the beginning. Simmons is actually in P2 now. Granda retiring. What was that? Being spun out there as well, apparently. Safety car, yellow flags. Full course safety car, obviously. And that is gonna be interesting now. I don't think, like, it shouldn't be worth to go for hard tires or something already. It's only lap 1, you won't get through to the end, arguably. So I assume there's not gonna be many drivers to pit. But you... No, why would you do that? I was about to say what you could do would go like a medium or like... But... Yeah, their tires are literally new. So there's no real reason why anyone should be going into the pits. Doesn't mean that no one will go into the pits though, as we have seen quite the surprise strategy-wise before. But yeah, first top drivers stay out, and I assume everyone else will as well, unless someone picked up sorry, front wing damage on the opening laps, and that seems to be the thing for Jack. As we will take a quick look towards what strategic decision he's gonna make. I feel like that's understanding 2 guys at the front. Never ever mind, he is just going for mediums then. Interesting. Interesting for sure. That's the casual stop to mediums. And he can't go to London, right? What is happening with the scoreboard, please? This is not the way it's supposed to be. Jack is definitely not P1. Please don't let this end in a bugged out game where... Okay, yeah, everything's how it's supposed to be again. Good, good, good. Yeah, I assume we will just like probably be driving only one lap of safety cars. Jack is gonna close up to the other guys in this lap, very likely. And that should mean safety car can go in lap. As it has not been announced by the start of Sector 3 though, I think we will have the beautiful event of the safety car staying out for another lap. Probably gonna go in the one after. So yeah. Unfortunately that is a very early safety car. Would be very interesting to see that happen in like lap 6 or something. Where... Okay, then H, severe collision. There is quite a pile up in the air. Interesting. It seems to be the contact made in the back lines. That didn't last long. Yeah, there was a little bit of a yikes, Mr. Gurando there. Didn't see what happened. Did you just spin or was there contact? I think someone clipped my rear tire. Yeah, I mean it's lap 1. Can happen, unfortunately. Unfortunate that you just land in the wall directly, having to retire your car. A bit of a yikes. If that means that the safety car stays out for longer because the drivers are not aligned in a queue yet, that's gonna be a bit of a yikes for me. My drivers are all shouting. I mean, they have been profiting from the entire bit so far. I mean, Bikops P8, Fabian P9. I think Mikuhun caused some trouble. We're gonna see about that. Mikuhun was definitely involved, went for a new wing immediately. But I don't know what exactly happened. I saw Dan H getting a 5-second penalty for severe collision with someone. Probably we should just check that out real quick. Plop. Whoop. Mikuhun severe collision with Dan H. Dan H severe collision with... Yeah, okay, it seems like there were a few drivers coming together here. Alex certainly not be happy about that. It was on straight. Someone just hit my right rear tire. Yikes. Can you check right? Ah, Herb. Great minds think alike, but fools rarely differ. But yeah, obviously I did the checking. Is the safety cup coming in? No, as expected it stays out because, well, not all drivers are aligned. That was a very late pit stop by Arch. Was that Arch? I think it was Arch. Yeah, it was Arch. Well, if that delays, I doubt that it delays the safety car for another lap. Usually it stays out maximum 3 laps or something. I am very sure that we will get nice racing. What has happened to Rage Quit? Any damage to his car?
Weird. But he all of a sudden dropped like 10 positions. Maybe there was just another bug that he was not in P5 originally. And him going around the outside. It's at least indicating that he feels like he should be ahead a little bit further. Ah, is that beautiful perspective? Just a bunch of F1 cars tossing themselves around until they almost spin. We are gods under safety car conditions, all fall into the points. End the race now. Yeah. Opposite of Grosjean under safety car. Safety car in this lap. Way! We will get racing. Arch is actually on the hard tires now, so they will look forward to go to the end. Which is an interesting strategy for sure, as he's probably, at the moment at least, less than a pit stop behind the leading drivers. So he could potentially come out looking very, very smart instead of very, very ambitious. Anyways, Dummy, I think setting off the restart, and he caught Simon snapping in a major way. That was like big yikes. Dan H got spun out by whatever happened there. Rage quit immediately into the pits though. And it is definitely Dummy leading off the pack in big fashion. Behind him it's a little bit closer. I think we should jump on board with Hershey. He's approaching Goji, overtaken a little slipstream, sucks himself towards the end of Goji's rear, forces him wide without actually forcing him wide, just indicating him that it would be healthier, it would be if he would go wide, and stays behind for now. A little bit of a gap forming between Goji and Dave as well. Outside of that 1 second window already, and that's the crucial bit where you want to be outside of. Once more, there's been a little bit of a bug in the recent events where every driver who starts on a different tire than he qualified on, this includes outside of the top 10 drivers who are allowed to do that, will have their tires shown as being 0 laps old. So I'm pretty sure Alex, for example, started on the mediums, and they should be 4 laps old by now. But it's gonna be displayed as if he just pitted in the last lap. And what is this? Let's see what Dan H sees when he comes into this. But well, the crash has already resorted himself. Arch. I mean, Bicorps was tangled up somewhere in this, and Alex as well. I assume they are not too happy about that. Not the second incident they have been caught in. Not the second, not the first incident, of course. Because it was the second incident, I think. We're gonna see who is in a good fighting position. I think this entire squad is looking quite exciting. Jack was just passed by Mikun, I think, just when we changed POVs. Probably through the little spoon curve there. And well, between Fabian Gaming and Dunk there is quite the gap building, but apart from that, drivers are still pretty close together in that little bit of a 5-way train. Oh! Jack just spun into the wall. I don't know if there was contact. I did not see contact, but I'm blind, like, technically speaking. So there might have been contact. Lewis, who was dead last after the first lap, is now getting closer towards the competition again. Newf certainly has to care for an attack once Lewis reaches the DRS straight. Nice perspective, thank you. To be honest, it kind of shows how long an F1 car is. But yeah, I'd prefer, yeah, something like this, where we see a whole bunch of drivers driving the race. Bike Ops there pushing up to Miku in a little bit, but can't ultimately get past. Arch is right there as well in this racing point. And yeah, on the ambitious strategy, let's call it that, as he is on the hard tires right now. And Fernando Lewis is definitely pushing towards Fabian. Actually, he got past Newf, and I completely missed that because I was distracted for just a little second. But Newf going back on the inside. What can the Haas do? Mikun might be able to go outside of Fernando Lewis, and he looks to be passed. Now getting stuck behind Newf. Mikun has the inside line for the first of these last few turns. I think Goji... Did Goji bump into the wall there? He's just standing there. He's not DNF'd for sure, but he just had to leave everyone pass. Miku in severe collision with Fabian. Oh, it's virtual safety car again. Yikes! Does no one even... Okay. Got me something to drink. So the report from the herd paddock, Fabian went into the back of Bike Ops. Alex was... Ah. Okay, apparently we're going again though after this switch in safety car, and Fernando Lewis is looking in a spicy position, and yeah, that's just not working out. Both go full speed. Bike Ops doing good to evade that, as well as Archer goes through as well as Lewis. Tokyo drifting his way through Sector 2. Sector 2 yellow flag once more. There is Goji, who is not on track. Bike Ops actually running wide and getting past as well. And so does Mikahun. Two of the drivers, Arch and Lewis, both go past. Quite a bunch of overtaking, I think, now. Let's go to... was about to say a wider angle shot, but maybe we will go even closer. As we are on Bike Ops' front wing at the moment. Mikahun going into the pits once more, probably has some front wing damage. Can only assume that. Up on top is... yeah, Sims is closing up in the DRS window, so we'll probably wait until the back straight to jump back to that action, as there might be a move then. Arch actually has front wing damage as well, which kind of prevents a move from Fabian on this straight, as he has the tire disadvantage. Gets another bump on the rear. There is a... dummy. What happened? I don't know if there was contact with Simmons or if he just generally spun by himself. But our race leader is all of a sudden in P5 and has lost quite a bunch of time. 10 seconds, I guess, roughly. To Simmons now. And that is definitely a bit of a yikes. Going to the pits now as well, quite quick. Locks up. No speeding in the pit lane. Easy. So where are we heading now? That came kind of out of nowhere. Let's go to Lewis again. Lewis has been tangled up in the midfield for quite a while now. And he's going past Domi, of course, who's in the pits with all the other boys. And he's still chasing after Arch. Should have the tire advantage, theoretically. And should have the slipstream and DRS advantage as well, so I wonder if he can go past on the next occasion. He does not... well, he does not have the DRS advantage, obviously, since there's Newf, who's providing DRS to Arch as well. But yeah, the Red Bulls stay up there. They're quite in a good position still. Fabian Gaming has just been going to the pits and has slotted in right in front of his teammate. Be interesting where they come out once everyone else has been hitting. Overall, like, interesting lineup, I guess. With Jack, Rage Quit, and Goji, not necessarily people I expect to fill in the last 3 spots of a race. Dunk on You on the other side, doing extremely well on his comeback to the top of the leaderboard. Pit window open, 1-stop strategy. We're on lap 11 already. Okay, that's interesting. Thought it was way harder to go that far on the softs, but yeah. Early game thinks this is now the beginning of the best time to stop. Or if you are starting on the soft tires, which is true for both Noob and Bicorps, as they are teammates and very close together. They will have to care to not run into each other like pit lane wise, schedule that good. So they both have the maximum advantage out of this. So with that, like both of them pitting soonish, I doubt that there's gonna be much of a battle going on between the other guys. To be honest, Arch, I mean, he has picked up front wing damage on the way, of course, so he might have a rough time going to the end. But theoretically, yeah, with the Simmons and Dunk on You pitting, he should come out either P2 or in P1, which would be quite interesting to see, as he is on the entirely different strategy. None of the Red Bulls go in. Don't know if they think they can pull off a double stack. I doubt it, to be honest. And Arch is actually in the lead. Wait, you lose more time here than you do in real F1? In the real F1 you lose 19 seconds. Arch has, or must have been, something like 21 seconds or something behind Simmons. I don't know if Simmons got a new front wing or something. That would be interesting. I would explain maybe the incident with Tommy. If Simmons had front wing damage, it's likely that they had contact somewhere along the way. But Dave as well, like, he stayed in the pits for a very long time. Nonetheless, they will be chasing after the other guys soonish, I guess. P1 to 4 are now a very stacked squad of, yeah, the Racing Point of Arch leading, and then of course the 2 Mercs and the 2 Red Bulls. Very much real F1, right? Maybe the order is a little bit scuffed. So, Infernal Lewis goes past Dan. Team order apparently goes down the inside of Nuve to advance into P2. I think either Nuve or Bicorps should be pitting this lap. Yeah, C1 Red Bull going in, Bicorps 5-second penalty, leading the pit lane. That is rather unfortunate. You don't want to see that, especially not if you're in such a good position as they were beforehand. Well, well, well. It happened now, and now it's too late. He will probably come out in P10. I don't see any other way of that happening. We should probably jump to P12, as there is Rage Quit going past Nikun at the moment. At the same time, will there be a comeback move? I doubt it. I do doubt it indeed. Fabian Gaming just got passed for Goji for P15. Because I'm pretty sure Fabian Gaming went off somewhere. Yeah, I see a very, very slow Ferrari somewhere in the back. I think that might have been a spin. Onwards. That is Dunk on You, Harashun, and Dummy, who should theoretically be on the same strategy now. Oh no, wait, actually, did Dungon start on Mets? No, I think he must have just stopped. So yeah, these 3 drivers are direct competitors, and they should be charging towards the top position after Dan H, Infernalus, and New. Yeah, New have pitted. New's actually going into the pits right now. Infernalus and Dan H can still go on for a little while. As well, Simmons is back in P3 at least. Let's stick with Harashun. I assume Domi is gonna make a move somewhere in the soon close future, as he definitely would still have ambitions for the win in this one. Taking a little bit of a line further to the outside to get some momentum going on the exit. Looking very likely to be a move down the inside. He leaves it for later. Go on board with him. On board with Domi. Yeah. He's having the eye on all of the drivers in front now. Dave's actually been somewhere there as well. He's gonna be running into Infernal sooner or later. We'll probably have a look at that once that happens. Domi is running very wide repetitively. Okay, let's see. Friendly times are a little bit scuffed right now. Saying that they are deleted all over the place. Okay. Sector 3 Virtual Safety Car as Miku Hoon in the Haas being the second DNF. I almost assumed that there was some kind of contact. That was looking like a bit of a yikes. Sure. Well, but everyone so far should be on the strategy they go to the end with now. No, actually the 2 Mercedes, I expect these 2 to stop still. But apart from that, we're pretty much lined up to go to the end like this. That's gonna be interesting. New drive through penalty, speeding under virtual safety car. Well, Red Bull really don't want to make any points, do they? Yeah, Domi. Can go for a move this time. That's the DRS. Unfortunately, Harashun has the DRS the entire time as well. And he's getting very, very close, sucking himself up to that car. It ultimately won't be enough as long as Harashun is in the DRS window. So, well, running a little bit wide there, and a little patch of grass that Harashun touched there is gonna be enough for Domi to make a move. Forcing Harashun a little bit further towards the outside, maybe, but ultimately fair, clean move. Going loose now into the pits for his soft tire stint. Go all the way to the end. Which is gonna be interesting as well. Yeah, we will witness the absolutely not scuffed. I got a puncture or something. That's interesting. How old were your tires? 4 lap old hearts? That sounds a little bit... I mean, I don't know. If it's full damage, I assume you can, like, drive over debris and, like, get a puncture if there's lying a piece of front wing around or something. Oh, I think Bike Corps just quit one. At least quit the track in after turn 1. Lost his points as well, and now Alex, the huge hope for. Something happened in car back. Okay. Yeah, I don't know, maybe there was contact, maybe there was just... I don't know, maybe that was the queer thing to do. Maybe it was Haas in Austria, just flying off due to missing brakes. We will never know.
In the meantime, Simmons is eating away on Arch's lead. Arch currently in P1, and I think he might be able to hold that P2 even, potentially. But I doubt that he's gonna fend Simmons off for the next 9 laps, considering that Simmons will have the tire advantage and... well, he doesn't have front wing damage, I guess, right? Tommy... That looks more than just good. Yeah, even though this is with DRS and stuff. Holy shit, you really can't gain anything at all. Position-wise. I mean, that was just a very bold move down the inside with an extremely well-timed braking point. And I think there was contact with Dunk. Poor Dunk being spun out of this race, unfortunately, by Domi, who cut into the inside. Maybe a little bit harder than Dunk himself was expecting. Jump over to Dave as he's... No, actually let's jump over to Simmons as I do not know how likely it is that we see him much on screen once he will have tried to make his move on Arch, because he's pretty much safely through once he's through Arch. Yeah. Of course, yeah, as mentioned earlier, better tires, better front wing. This isn't that. I assume he's just gonna go for the move on the back straight. Yeah, just breaking himself into Arch's rear almost. You can just brake that much later to get a good way through the corner as he has more downforce and grip, obviously. And around the outside now, I think that's enough to pull through. And he does, with 8 laps to go on his medium tires, which should not be that big of a deal, to be honest. We will see him as the new leader. We should jump towards Mr. Dave here. Dave coming very close to the H, I assume, after these... Yeah, on the next straight he's gonna be going for a move, braking a little bit early there to get the angle for a good exit out of the last turn of sector 2. Around the outside we've seen Albon doing war moves here today. What? Wait, did Domi overtake them both just now? Did I miss that? Did Domi just sneak past both of them? What a move then, holy. I mean, okay, Domi's back into P3 after being set back to P9, I think. Roughly 10 seconds behind Simmons at one point. He's fought his way through to P3 again. And is now only 6 seconds behind. Seems to be on a very good pace. We're gonna see if he can even reach Simmons in the end. So, at the moment it remains very close between these 3 drivers. Harshu now getting past Dan H as well. As Dan H should sooner or later be coming for a set of softs, I guess. Do not know if he actually wants to pit again. Let's have a look. If he can actually fight with Harshu in there. Unfortunate that Mashik never managed to get his internet going again, or at least that he didn't rejoin. Quite sad. It would have certainly been interesting seeing him in this race as well. Wow. Oh well, it's only a few more laps to go. Simmons is back in the lead. Arch is losing on Simmons, but Simmons is ultimately not gaining much on Domi. So Simmons and Domi pretty much same pace. Should be interesting. I assume. We're gonna see. Lewis's tires are not actually 20 laps old. I think they should be 4 laps old or something. they should be in a pretty good position to make a move on Rage Quit somewhat soonish, as there should be quite the tire advantage. A very slow McLaren goes through Sector 2, but he picked up pace again. I assume that was Jack's FO then. My PC dead for some times. Oh, yikes. Yeah, it's missing something up on the top. I mean, to be honest, we have new drivers up on top, apart from Simmons, of course, who has been up there for the last time as well. But yeah, Domi obviously making his comeback, being quick as ever, and I think is pretty much on pace with Simmons at the moment. They basically do not gain or lose anything on each other. In between them, it's just Arch, who's dropping by half a second or something per lap, probably more. But yeah, it's understandable. He has very old hard tires, has front wing damage. I assume on a normal strategy, with a qualifying that doesn't end in the first turn, Arch could be one of the participants fighting for P1 as well. But yeah, we're gonna see about that, I guess, in the near future. And big lockup by Lewis here, as he does not manage to get past Rage Quit here. Okay, now we have the bug that Lewis drove more laps on the soft tires than even already driven in this race. Which happens every now and then, of course. Dave actually can stay behind Domi quite well, so the two racing points might have a go at each other in the later stages of the race as well. As, well, with 5 laps to go and Dave pretty much matching Domi's pace as well, we should have it coming together in the last lap somewhere. What is the best lap time from this race? Let me see, we can have a look at that. 1:27.6 by Lewis currently. I assume Jack's gonna set the fastest laps somewhere soonish. Oh. That seems like a bit of... Yeah, Alex retiring. Probably flying out there somewhere. Don't know if there was actually contact or anything. We're gonna see about that somewhere soonish. The best lap in qualifying, if you were interested in that, was a 1:24.6 though. So I think that was a... Oh yeah, obviously that was a good chunk faster than in Challenger, as Challenger was being played in the rain. I doubt that we have a 20-second gap between Challenger and lead under normal circumstances. Oh, and the next big hit for the Herbie drivers, as Bicorps is dropping out of this race as well. Probably spinning out in the end of Sector 2, maybe on the left-hander towards the straight. Don't know. Yeah, what's expecting us in these late stages of the race? Let's just jump on board with Domi for a little bit, as we see his next victim up on the screen, which is Arch. As mentioned previously, 2 or 3 times already, I guess. Hard tires, obviously, and front wing damage for Arch make it quite tough for him to maintain his podium, very likely. Yeah, Jack come through 1:27.3, has just pitted for soft tires. Nowhere near any competition, but will try to take that last point with him. Oh no, actually won't even get the point, as he's outside of the top 10. Which is probably gonna infuriate Lewis a little bit, who is inside of the top 10, and, well, the former teammates together. Oh wow, Jack's ignoring blue flag. Oh, that's a yikes. I mean, Jack is probably the quickest driver on circuit right now, but he just has, I think it's Dan H behind him, and he's not even holding him back. But yeah, he's getting the penalties because, yeah, not letting him past, I guess. Which does objectively not make sense, but the rules say you should. Dummy this time, cleanly no contact around the outside. Has the entire racetrack for himself and is in P2 for now. Simmons just beginning his last lap, 4.5 seconds left on his, I think, former 6 seconds lead, but I doubt Dummy can catch him in these 3 remaining laps. Who will catch someone? Gonna be Dave though, as him and Arch. Will they catch each other is the question. I mean, Arch is profiting from the Dummy toe quite heavily now. He's at least gaining some time. Oh, and there is McLaren spun out. I think that's been Jack. Yeah, Duncan Yu is still going alive and well. Not lost much time on Den H. I wonder if that happened at the lapping that they did. To be honest, I think there might have been more incidents in Elite today than there have been in Challenger, and that's been quite a while. As Challenger is usually a pretty dirty tier, all the bad boys. Not necessarily because they're bad, but because they're like bad boys. They go ham, they represent their strength with their car. Doesn't matter if it's, well, nice, fair, or useful. They're just there. And yeah, that causes incidents, obviously. As well. Where do we jump for the last few laps? Harashun, maybe? Don't know if Harashun is really gaining on Dave, if he's gonna be in contention anytime soon. I think Newf and Fabian, considering they are probably in a voice chat together right now, will not necessarily engage into heavy on-track battle neither. I think we could have a look at the race director, right? Whoop. Whoop. Okay, I think these penalties have been served. Jack has a penalty. Domi has a penalty. Mikun is gone anyways. Fabian is not in the higher ranks neither. By Corpse is. Mikun once more. Dan H is actually relevant. Some kind. Jack. Well, Jack is all out of the window as well. I just completely forget that. Dave, 5-second penalty. That's rough though. There's so many warnings and penalties. Can I filter this to only penalties? Maybe that would be easy. Simmons 3 seconds. Gonna be interesting. Okay, no, Dommy's already at 9. There's no way he's gonna be caught. Dunk with 3. Mikun doesn't matter that much anymore. Then neither. I think drive through for Newf. Goji? I don't know where Goji is. Dave could be critical, as I have not seen Harashun penalties so far. Arch doesn't have a penalty neither, so Arch is probably gonna regain. Okay, never mind. There's the penalty for Arch. Yeah. I think Arch might still be in for P2 if he just stays close behind Dummy. Actually, I think Dave had quite a bunch of penalties as well. But Harashun is in a very good spot then, too. As he might be in for a podium, to be honest. I mean, if he can get into 3 seconds between himself and Arch, he might even be in for P2? Which would be a good result for Toro Rosso, considering that Mashik, their usual front man, was unfortunately not able to participate in today's race. At the moment, it seems like he is in that 3-second window. Now, Simmons is over the line. Dummy gets a bunch of penalties. Stays second though. No, Harashun. Oh my god. Harashun beating Domi by 6,000 in the end. Holy shit. That was close. That was close. And Arch as well, like, just Arch almost making P3. Very unfortunate for him there. I mean, unfortunate. Should have probably cut less corners, I guess. Which is not that easy with a broken front wing though. But what a performance by Harashun to grab that P2 in the end. Really pushing the last bit out. Like Lando Norris performance over there. But Simmons, GG's indeed. What a race. Pretty much commanding victory, I'd say. I'd call that. Let's jump. Fabian Gaming. Hey, Fabian Gaming. I think he's just gotten past Newf there. And well, Domi will end up in P3 by a very, very short margin. Both sides, like to the front and to the back. GG Simmons indeed. Building up a lead in the championship. We call him Hamilton soon. Not quite at the point where I want to see him lose yet. But yeah, Arch definitely, like, weird strategy. I was seriously shaking my head when he came in like lap 3 or something. To get hard tires. I was like, well, okay, interesting. Okay. But it almost worked out for a podium for him. Just a very, very slight margin. In the end, it's gonna be Simmons qualifying P1, race victory. Harashun, amazing drive to P2. And Domi as well with the big boy recovery. F for your PC crash. GG's, man. Yeah. Ah, so close for Domi. So close for Domi. It could have been a nice battle. Indeed. That was very I don't know. I don't even know what happened. I don't know if Simmons like had a little bit of a touch on your rear there, or if you just spun by yourself. I do not know. I think, yeah, Arch, as he has been pointed out as the driver of the day by the game as well, missing out on P2 by 4/10. Definitely a thing worth mentioning. On the other side, Harashun not collecting any penalties to grab that P2 is definitely a big performance as well. But yeah, ultimately it's Simum, Harashun, Domi, and I was too slow to... I spun by myself. Okay, yeah, okay, yikes then. Unfortunate, I guess. Yeah. Well then, especially then if Simmons had nothing to do with it, GG's. Especially to Simmons, Harashun, Domi, and the 2 racing points as they were the top 5. Doing extraordinarily well. I am super tired, having just casted, I think, 4 hours, probably. Yeah, with the Rocket Sunday going on as well and stuff. A little bit stressful, but hey, we're in it to win it, and well, we will probably catch you with Formula 1 on the next Sunday, if not Wednesday, but I doubt that Masters Tier will have a sufficient amount of drivers to be streamed at this point of time. Will be happening in the future though, I'm pretty confident in that. But yeah, I'm rambling. Have a great night, and goodbye.